Yo, what up guys? Welcome back to another video in the studio. Actually, I'm really liking how these videos are sounding and turning out. Thanks for all the feedback. I love reading these comments. It seems that those few of you that are watching are actually really enjoying it. I've seen the view time go up, more views, more interactions. So I'd like to keep doing this. I'm trying to, I guess it's good for me because of all the news I've been reading and then the books I'm listening to and the books I'm reading and then interacting with students. It's been really nice to get this like different mindset and point of view, I think, for both my students, and me and other people outside of like the Vietnam bubble, so to speak. And anyways, let's just jump into this video. What I've noticed and what I've really been thinking about, this really struck me as soon as I came back on Tuesday. And let me just tell you a little story. So we were there and we were chatting with some people at work, and now we have kind of a mix of people. A lot of them are more, think similarly to me, but then there's some people who do disagree with me, which is fine, that's not the point. But somebody said something interesting to me and they said, well, Marco, we gotta, cause I told them about my video with comparing the Vietnam deaths and stuff, and they were like, hey, like, why are you can't compare the two. You need to compare like how many people died last year without like the coronavirus, and also you have to keep in mind that a lot of people who are dying, the coronavirus just accelerated that. And I stopped for a minute and I didn't want to be rude, but so, you know, I just kind of let it go, but it got my mind thinking. And I realized something is, we're starting to look at people as just numbers. I've seen even Trump talking about it, or when I talk with people, you know, it's so hard. Honestly, it's not an issue with us. We're not bad people, but it's hard to like put all this together, put all these people together without just slapping a number on them. But it's important to remember that out of the, what is it now, 76,000 people who have died, that's 76,000 people. My campus at max capacity, I think, had 35,000 people. So you're talking about like my whole campus on college dying twice and then some. These numbers are wild. And now, like I said, and I've seen a lot of people, oh, well, people die more from this and this. Somebody said, like, and I've seen Rudy Giuliani going on and saying about like, oh, well, we need to contact trace for cancer and heart disease. And I was like, dude, people are like not getting it. It's not about like what kills you. It's about that this one is very contagious, and maybe you won't directly kill somebody, but it spreads like a chain to other people that can eventually get hurt or killed by this, you know? And in general, we need to be a little bit more humane and a little bit less like cold. I've noticed, and I've been, I don't know how I want to say it, but I have some friends on Facebook who I would say like, what? Communists? Anarchists? They're opposites, aren't they? I don't know, but like hardcore socialist. And they talk about how the capitalistic society is so profit driven that we forget about individual humans and humanity, okay? By the way, I want to apologize. I have to keep the AC on and I'm still sweating, so if you hear some noise, I do apologize, and I'll turn it off for the next video if I hear it in editing. Anyways, we prioritize profits over people. We prioritize our own beliefs over being open-minded, and it's become, I believe, a big issue and a big dividing factor in people. Is we need to take a step back and not just do things because they're gonna make us money, or not just do things because somebody says so, but instead we need to do things that are gonna benefit like more of the masses, and things that are going to help humanity as a whole instead of helping like one small group of people. We need to take a step back from looking at everything as a number and trying to remember that those numbers represent something. Those numbers aren't just numbers. Those numbers mean something. You know, when you're talking about jobs lost, that's people who can't work. That's people who can't put food on the table in theory. That's people who are stressing out every day and could get sick from that. There's people who, I mean, you know what I'm saying, you get what I'm saying. There's a whole different story about it. Like, definitely people should have saved more, and I hope that we learned our lesson now, but that's not the point of this video. The point here is just to remember that every person who's infected, every person who loses a job, every person who dies, those aren't numbers, those are people. To go on TV and say, oh, well, we predicted 60,000, but now maybe 100,000, and that's still good, we're doing great. That's, for me, very disgusting. I get really uncomfortable seeing him talk about that, because those are people. You can't, you know, it's one thing when you're like, what are we gonna do? Profits are down $5 million this quarter, guys, we'll do better next, and that's fine. It's money. I don't give a crap. You know, that's gonna make me a bit stressed about shareholder bullcrap, but when they're like, oh, 60,000, it's 100,000, that's still okay, we're doing great. You know, that's, I mean, come on, man. Like, and now I understand people look at me and say, but Marco, people die from other things. That's just a small proportion of the pop. It is, sure. But try to take a step back and imagine if that's your grandma who died. Now, of course, a lot of you are gonna say, well, she was old anyway, she was gonna die anyways, right? Fair enough, but wouldn't you wish that she could have died a natural death instead of dying to this disease where she's having trouble breathing? We need to always take a step back and put ourselves in other people's shoes. It really helps you understand what's happening and really be able to connect and understand from other people's point of views. I think the word is empathy, right? Is empathy putting yourself in other people's shoes? Anyways, we need to empathize. Yeah, I think it's empathy. If it's empathy, then I'm gonna keep going. We need to empathize with other people in their certain situations, you know. For example, you know, when you see people, I got really mad living in North Philly because people would always get robbed and people were all getting stabbed and people getting their apartments broken into. And, you know, a lot of people turn right away and they say, oh, there's a problem with the black community. We need more jails. We need more police officers. But if you really take a step back and you realize most of these people don't want to do that, they would like to get a normal job. But because of situations, a lack of education, all kinds of different things, they can't. So what we're doing is we're addressing the symptom, but we're not actually fixing the root cause of the problem, okay? And again, that's what I'm saying. Take a step back, look at things from a different point of view. It's really gonna help you a lot. We have the internet. It's not just for memes and cat pictures and whatever. You know what I mean? It's there with all this information that you can get an idea of what's happening. A lot of the things that the people on the left say, the people on the right will rebuke against, fight against, argue against. But throughout most of my research, I always find that it kind of makes logical sense what they're saying. I think the big problem we have though is because we're so driven by corporations and making more money that oftentimes that falls by the wayside. Now, I'm not saying capitalism is bad. We wouldn't be where we are without capitalism, which eventually led to colonialism, which led to like a boom in scientific stuff. Anyways, it all came from that kind of, you know, profit driven, you know, and stuff. And it's good. It's given us a lot of worth and a lot of value from the earth, and a lot of like everything we have today has existed and become realized because of even making videos online like 20 years ago. That was crazy thought. But we need to also take a step back and not just focus on that kind of a dualism and a dual purpose of like, okay, we got to make money, but we should do something that's going to be good for the people. Because at the end of the day, everything is about the people. It's not just about the money. So another short one, and not too much going on here. We are going back to work. I'm hoping I'll talk to my students tonight, and maybe on Tuesday when we go back to work, maybe we can make a short video asking what quarantine was like. Maybe change this up a little bit for you guys. I have some ideas for other videos I've been writing down as well, so they'll keep coming. That new update I was thinking about is taking a little bit longer. Huong actually started live streaming to try to sell some clothing. It's coming eventually, so stay tuned. I hope again you're enjoying this content. The idea for me is to get you guys to think more openly. It's what I want my students to do, and it's what I want you guys to do, is to think more critically about things and think about things from different perspectives. It's really going to help you understand what's happening in the world a lot better, because remember, you're just one person with one point of view in a world of 7 billion other people with their own different points of view. So keep that in mind before you go and judge somebody, or before you go and, you know, complain about something, or before you go and whatever you do, just stop for a minute and realize that people have a reason for what they're doing, you know. Anyways, guys, leave a like if you liked it. Subscribe down below. Hit that little bell, I guess, if you want to be notified like immediately when a video comes out. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. So, peace.